When I was about sort of 6 or 7, my mum had this little mantra if I got into trouble. And she used to say, do you know what happens every time you tell a lie? Huh? Do you know? No. Every time you tell a lie, a fairy dies. Have you ever seen a fairy? Seriously? Say in the last 2 years. Ever seen a fairy? No. No, you haven't. And that is because every time Jack Straw opens his mouth, he kills the fuckers. It is wholesale fairy slaughter. It is fucking Dingley Dell Holocaust. There are fucking fairyland in Chile. They're trying to extradite Straw. And Jack Straw just loves a scapegoat, doesn't he? He loves it. It's a squeegee merchants, it's a bogus asylum seeker, aggressive beggars, Hampstead liberals, dole cheats, single mums. He's going to run out of scapegoats pretty soon. 3 weeks from now, he'll be tearing round the fucking Commons. The Vikings are coming! And the amazing thing is, you look at what he said in opposition, right? He was against privatised prisons. He was for an effective Freedom of Information Act. He was for reform of the Official Secrets Act. He was against asylum seekers having their dole taken away. And you just say everything. He's just... He was for trial by jury. Everything. U-turns. Maureen from driving school is going, wow. And the show tonight is about Uncle Jack. You've got Pinochet. Right, Pinochet. And I know some people go, oh, well, no, General Pinochet is too old. No, he's very old. And he's too old to stand trial. You see, I know people think he's too old, but that's not an excuse, is it? Just because he's got a fucking bus pass doesn't make him innocent. And Jack Straw said, no, we have to release him. I'm minded to release him because he's very poorly. He's too ill to stand trial. And he might be too ill. You just think, why... These court records, the medical records, why can't the lawyers working for Amnesty see them so they can assess them to see if they're fair? Because the person who's made the decision is Jack Straw, and we might not trust you. I want to find out for myself. I want to do a medical check on him myself to see if he's fit enough to stand trial. So we went down to Wentworth, where he's residing at the moment. And Wentworth's quite near because his house backs onto the golf course. And we thought of a scam to try and get to his door. And we thought, right, let's send the camera crew down. And about a minute later, I wandered into view. Have you seen a ball? Are you sure? I think I've chipped one of the things into here. Who's in it? This is the Pinochet thing, isn't it? Yeah? And he's in the garden. Can I go around and get me ball? I'll just knock on the door. No, sir, you can't do that, sir. You can't. I just want me ball back. Pinochet's got me ball. I want me ball. If Pinochet's nicked me ball, I'll be furious. And I know he'll be taking it back to bloody Chile with him when he goes, won't he? He's absolutely bloody outrageous. He comes over here, he nicks our hospital beds, he starts mucking around, and then what happens is suddenly he's nicked me golf ball. All I want is my ball back, and some bloody tin pot dictators just nicked me golf ball. I want me ball! Come on! And this guy starts coming round going, oh, you can't get in there, sir, you can't get... He's some tin pot dictator going to steal my ball. Well, you'll have to play through, sir. We had this bit of a standoff. What was great, though, was at one point he goes, look, I'll try and find the ball for you. You give me your details, and I'll get it back. I'll get the ball to you. Well, he's going to nick it. He's going to take it to Chile, and if he's fit enough to bend over and pick it up, he's fit enough to stand trial. He said, what are your details? I am a British citizen. No, your name and address. I am Mr. Tarbuck. Mr. Now, Tarbuck. What I'd like is my ball back. Just generally speaking, I just want to know your opinions. Just to go, do you think Americans stupid? Yes. No, I kind of agree with you, they're a bit stupid, but there are some brilliant things in America. sweets with peanut butter in, cheap CDs, and non-standardised leg waist measurement jeans. Fucking handy for me. The other thing they've got is a Freedom of Information Act, which is second to none. Right, if American officials write stuff down, you've got a chance of getting it. It's brilliant. I mean, they can get phone logs, they can get messages, they can get memos, they can get ministers' diaries, politicians' diaries, civil servants' diaries, they can get agendas, they can get minutes of meetings. And this, recently, I just want to show you this. This recently came out from the CIA. It was released last year, and it relates to Pinochet. And the CIA released this last year under American Freedom of Information. This is what it said. It's firm and continuing policy that Allende be overthrown by a coup. There's another one here that just says, this relates to Santiago to Chile, to the coup that put Pinochet in place. Submachine guns and ammo being sent by regular courier. DHL, I don't know. Parcel force. And it goes to Santiago, and you think, well, we all kind of know that Chile was, that America backed the coup in Chile and put Pinochet in place. But in America, they can get the bits of paper and hold them up to their government and say, look, you yourselves admit you are murdering fucking scumbags. And that's a very good thing. Can you imagine going into MI5, MI6 in this country, hello, I'd like all the documents about British-backed coups. I'm glad you've asked, I'll go and get that, sir. I've got some saucy pictures of the Prince Philip. Would you like to see them as well, sir? In America, under Freedom of Information, we got the next documents, which you've got a sneak preview of. We got these documents under Freedom of Information in America. It's a telegram to the US ambassador in Britain, and it gives contents of a cabinet meeting. And this is what it says. It says, we understand that the cabinet may take up the issue at its Thursday, June 4th meeting. They know what's happening in a cabinet meeting that is yet to take place. They know that. Under American Freedom of Information, the Americans know what's being discussed in our cabinet meetings June 4th. We don't know. They fucking do. Because we haven't got a freedom of information, we can't find out what's happening within our own government and civil servants. And I would like to just say, if there are any people who work in government departments watching the show, I'd just like to broadcast a subliminal message to you, just if you wouldn't mind. Did you think I got away with that? Was it subliminal enough? And that's what we needed. We need a Freedom of Information bill in this country. Jack Straw is the man in charge of Freedom of Information. There are so many exemptions under the bill, not yet made an act. It's incredible. There are sort of like, no, you can't find out that because it's military, you can't find out it's a public thing, you can't find out about that because it's policy and advice, you can't find out I don't like you. In fact, you can find out less under Jack's Freedom of Information than you can now under the Tories' open code of voluntary access to government documents. Our documents. Because Jack Straw knows information is power. It's not easy. You see, had I known that was happening, I could have warned him. See? Information is power. Then we found out about this other plan. In fact, what we did, in America, under Freedom of Information, we got documents that show that John Prescott's been lobbying the Secretary of State for Transport in America about slots at Denver Airport for BA, British Airways. Right now, there could be nothing wrong with that. That could be perfectly fine. He could be batting for Britain. Or he could be doing something slightly less valiant. We don't know. He might be favouring people. Does he do it for Virgin? Does he do it for British Midlands? Or is he just, supporting people who've backed that fucking huge tent? I don't know. And we wanted to ask John. This is what he said. I would be most grateful if you could now authorise the immediate commencement of the BA Denver service. Stern words, John. Now, in a helpful way, we wanted to see John Prescott to get the full story. So we go down to the Labour Party meeting where Tony Blair and John Prescott are speaking in Southall, basically saying Ken Livingstone is the devil. So we get down there. It's all being held in a school. They've barricaded the place up. They've locked all the doors. They said no more press allowed. BBC journalists are being kicked away. But we have a cunning plan. And we've got a few Jaguar cars. And we've got the drivers in there with little caps. And they'd all got a sign saying, Mr. Prescott in the front window. And we drove them at the security gate about 5 minutes before the meeting ended. And we sent... The first batch went in, 3 of them, and the police opened the gates